full of authentic points of view. Myself alone have at least 22. They come from the things that we have been through. Those things can either make or break you. Life is full of ups and downs. It's our choice to either smile or frown. Please choose to smile today, because it's one thing that's free to give away. People say that life isn't hard, it's what you make of it. But what if only struggle surrounds you? What can you take from it? Life can be hard and some things aren't fair. Please listen to others just to be aware. All I'm saying, you never know what someone's going through. Just because they look happy doesn't make it true. Hopefully this podcast will help you see you are not alone, you at least got me. We are more alike than you may know, but if we stay quiet, we will never grow. Don't ever give up, because you got this. If you quit, think of all the opportunities that you could miss. Hey everybody, and welcome to Authentic Points of View. I'm Danielle Boer, your host as always. Woohoo! I am excited for today's guest. So, she is amazing. I am so proud of her and like just all that she's accomplished in her life of being young, and so I'm excited for you guys to meet her. Kellina Powell is a deaf coach and advocate, a podcast speaker, a best-selling author, and a passionate entrepreneur on a mission to help young adults with disabilities achieve their goals while also educating others about the deaf community. Welcome, Kellina, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yay! I'm excited to talk to you. So, all right. Now, I had a guest, which she is amazing. She found out when her son was, I think the official diagnosis was like maybe 3 or 4 days old or something like that, that he was deaf, and he has Waardenburg syndrome, I believe. And she now, her book is being released, so I'm excited. It's called The ABCs of Inclusion. It's really amazing. Yeah, so she features her son. His story is about a lot of stuff, but it's mostly about being deaf and sign language. And every letter of the alphabet is a kid's name and their diagnosis and what they have in their disability. It is amazing. So everybody check that out. It's a little kid's book, but it's still, actually, I learned because some of the things that the kids have, I've never heard of them. So that's really awesome. And we had him, that was the first time I had a kid. And so he wasn't having it, but he has cochlear devices. So she also talks about that. It's really cool. And there's Bluetooth ones. Did you know that they can Bluetooth like in the
Yeah.
Oh?
Yes, that's like my hearing aid too. My hearing aid Bluetooth as well.
What? How
Yeah.
exciting. So
Yeah.
what so she plays Lizzo in his. So what do you use the Bluetooth for? Or what is it for?
So the Bluetooth is for the phone, the one I'm talking on the phone. However, I'm trying to figure out how to get the Bluetooth connected to my iMac. And I know Bluetooth can also be connected to the MacBook as well. That's what I heard. I don't have a MacBook. I can't deal with that. I can't. But the TV, no. Unfortunately, no. Not actually. The TV is only for cell phones and computer or any other devices that accept Bluetooth.
Oh my gosh. How
Yeah.
amazing. Like, people are so intelligent, and the way that like technology is going, I mean, it's just really helping so many people that, like, I've heard from people that are deaf that it's hard because what people say is normal. Like, you look like, we don't know that you can't hear, right? So how was that growing up, and when did you find out that you were deaf? Or
I
when did
actually
your
became deaf.
parents? Sorry.
So I became deaf at the age of 4 due
Oh,
to an infection.
really? Wow.
Yeah, so it really, I would keep it short. So basically, a normal kid going to daycare, and I guess the next day I got an ear infection, and then my family doctor prescribed me eardrop. And so the next day, my mom went to the daycare and said, "Here's the instruction, the specific instruction. Don't screw this instruction up." And so they didn't follow the instruction for the eardrop for me. And so that same day, they did not follow the instruction. I actually went home and I became deaf. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's what happened.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but like I'm a nurse and I've never really heard of that. So that's really scary, number one. And number two, wow. Like you hear of things happening, and there's side effects to everything.
Yeah.
So as a 4-year old, do you remember how you felt, or how did you even tell them that you couldn't hear anymore? Like, how did you respond to this?
So it was actually, thankfully, I was actually watching TV and I didn't realize it was loud. And my mom called me. And so I didn't hear my mom. And she tapped me
Oh,
on my shoulder and then I jumped. And I looked at her and I couldn't hear her, but I could hear the TV because the TV was loud. And I'm looking at her. I look at my mom dead in the face, like, I don't know what you're talking about. My mom's like, hello. Like, and she waved her
oh,
she waved her hand at me and I said, I looked at my mom, like, Mom, I can't hear you. And she's like, excuse me? And then I'm like, and then she said something and I couldn't hear her. And I said, Mom, I can't hear you. And my mom was a young adult at the time. She wasn't an adult. She was young. Like, I think
yeah.
she had me like 19 and 20. So imagine having a kid for 19, 20 year old. They don't know what they're doing. My mom is learning how to be a mom. And so my grandma was actually a nurse, thank goodness. So my mom called my grandma panicking, and I dumped my mom on the phone with my grandma panicking. Like she wasn't crying, but she was mad. And then my grandma, I don't know, I just sitting down. I just that's when it actually hit me that I couldn't hear. And so my grandma rushed home. She did something with me, like some assessment from the hospital, and she brought
Mhm.
stuff from the hospital. And so I really, really do recognize my grandma's voice, like top of my head. And then I looked at my grandma. My grandma, I can't hear you. And I knew my grandma was talking because her mouth was moving. And then my grandma said, she can't hear me. And so that's when we went to the family doctor the next day. And the family doctor said, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. It's too late.
Oh, gosh.
Mhm.
Wow. So I had kids at 18 and 20, and now my oldest just turned 22. Wow. Uh great, crazy. So yeah, so I understand being a young mom, and you're learning how to be an adult and take care of someone at the same time. So you're trying to take care of yourself and you're trying to take care of them. And the first time I took my son to the doctor, he actually had jaundice. And so I was really good about it. Like I was like calling them and saying, "Hey, something's wrong with him." And he kept getting more and more yellow, and so they were like, "Well, you're doing good for being young," but they kept fighting against me. "Oh, it's fine." But then we would go get blood work. Well, I filled out the paperwork with mine. My mom was like, "He's the patient, not you." And I was like, "Oh." so so I mean, everything's an adjustment. So now, how did your mom feel? I mean, no offense to her. Does she feel guilty, or did she at first because of the giving you the eardrops, or
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't say guilty. She was really shocked. I
okay.
would say I wouldn't say because she was like, "What am I supposed to do next?" I think that it was what would have worked for my mom. Like, what is next? Oh my god, are you kidding me? What am I supposed to do? And my mom was in college as well, so she just had
Wow.
school, so she had to figure it out. So it wasn't guilt; it was more of a shock and like, oh my god, it's poor my baby, and I'm her first child, so poor my
Yeah.
baby.
Oh. Yeah, that's scary. Well, scary to you, because you're like da da da, you're playing and everything's and then all of a sudden the world is different and you can't hear and you're seeing mouths move and you're like, what? So
Yeah.
how did you adjust in your younger ears. I'm so sorry. Gosh. Well, look at that. That's silly. Years, not ears. Okay. Didn't mean to say that. So in your younger years, how did you adjust once you knew that you were deaf? How long did it take you to get hearing aids and all that stuff?
So it would take me, I would say, a week to get my hearing aid.
Wow.
Because I had to do a lot of hearing testing and all of that. So I had to make sure I get the right hearing aid for it. And from there on, when I got the right hearing aid, my mom had to make a decision actually to put me either in a deaf school or a hearing school. And so my mom and my grandma made a fantastic idea. So they put me into the deaf school in the morning, and then the afternoon I'll be in the hearing school.
Oh.
Just because of the hearing school right across the street, which is like 5 minutes walking distance. But however, the deaf school is a little bit far. So it's like 30 minutes from my house. I don't know how my mom do it. And um, so from there on, I was able to really understand that I am different from two communities. So obviously, I felt more comfortable in the deaf community than I was in the hearing community. Um, with judgment, my judgment was okay until my family had to pull me out of the deaf school to go to the hearing school full time because it was a lot more convenient for them. I did struggle a lot in the hearing school because they didn't provide me ASL at all, so I was literally forced to communicate visually instead of ASL. So it was really hard transition from that. And obviously I've been bullied from due to my speech with very different when I was young. So I had
Hmm.
to do speech therapist and, develop a really good relationship with my audiologist to really understand what can I do next to improve my speech and what readers that I can do, especially being able to still connect with the deaf community, even though I am in the home school full time. So it was a lot of trying to figure out where do I fit, how am I supposed to make friends, and that was something I did struggle a lot when I transferred over.
Wow. So when when did you learn ASL? Like how long did it take you to learn? Because little kids learn faster than us adults, but how and did your family learn it with you as well?
So my family did not learn ASL.
Okay.
They did not because they had too much on the plate. Um, I did learn ASL when I was in deaf school.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a silly question.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
So that is so awesome. So you said you fit in more at the deaf school, but where were you like where do you think you learned the most?
And then deaf school, I learned the most is that everybody communicate different. And I love the fact that people can either communicate through ASL or verbal. So it's kind of cool that you can be not talking and you can do ASL to give yourself a break. So that was something I learned a lot.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, okay. I don't ever ask this, but do you mind me asking how old you are now?
I am 25.
Okay. I don't ever ask that. You're not supposed to ask a lady, but I knew you were I knew you were young. I was just okay. So you're 25 now. So 21 years ago, you found out that you were deaf all of a sudden. And so when you went to school, in high school, was there ASL or did you go to both schools still then, or did you transition to just one school?
I literally did transition to just one school, the head school.
So you were in hearing school when you were in, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So when you went to college, what what degrees do you have and what school did you go to?
The grade I had in college and university was okay. I hate school. I really do. I did try my best to pass. I was like, I'm gonna pass, right? Okay, pass. Like I hate school. I hate school. Oh my god. um It was okay. It was not too bad. I actually went to two schools, two post-secondary. So the first school was I went to York University. So I am located in Canada, Toronto. For those who's like, where's that school? Yeah, it's I'm in
Awesome.
Canada. Yeah, and I also went to a Flemington College as well.
All right. So you have a degree in psychology.
Yes, I did.
Was that your first degree?
Yes.
Okay. And what I can assume what made you go into that, but what was made you like passionate about psychology that you wanted to get a degree in it?
I love studying the brain. I don't know why. It's so weird of me, honestly,
No,
truly.
it's
Like
not. It's awesome. I
I
like
like just
psychology.
I just love studying the brain. I always had a passion helping people. I always go above and beyond, especially my friends. Like I do so much for them, and sometimes I don't know my boundaries. You know, when you just love helping someone and you just feel good about yourself. So I felt like studying psychology would help me understand people better and more, and learn how to help them even more, whether it's like through mentally, physically, or spiritually.
Aw. Yes, I love helping people too. That's something, and I feel like that's something you can't teach. Like you either have it in you. I mean, you could teach people this different skills, but innately it has to be in you and to be that caring, empathetic person that you really have the passion for it. Or sometimes you can lose your patience, no pun intended, because I'm a nurse, so the other patients. And because you just, like people are people. Okay. And so when you work in customer service, I've been a waitress, I've been a lot of things. I'm 40, remember. Okay. I've been a lot of things. And so, oh, if you don't have like anyway, we're all human. So I've had days where I was like, ah, and I get upset. But for the most part, I try to be as kind and accepting of people because you never know what anybody's going through. So I try to have that in the back of my mind, especially in nursing, you have to. But in a restaurant, it's different. It's food. You don't have to be mean to me over food. Like that doesn't have to be part of it, okay? But I'm not gonna steal it from you. It's okay. But but like in nursing, I understand because people are sick. Maybe they just got a diagnosis, or maybe they had to lose a limb or a body, something like that. And that's traumatic and it's hard and it's emotional. And it's so I have a, a good understanding of like, it's not personal. I'm here to help them. So that's really cool that you have that. Now, you got another degree in mental health and addiction, right? Okay. That's really cool. So what what do you do now? Is it like a therapist, or what is your title? Like,
So I am a caseworker
oh,
uh,
case.
for parents who are trying to put the child in care, so daycare, home care, or
Oh,
anything like that. So I just help them getting funding for that because in Canada, daycare is expensive, just like the United States. So yeah, so that's what I am now.
oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for doing that. We need special people that help with everything. And yes, daycare, oh, yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is
Um,
expensive.
it's really, I don't even know how much it is now because I'm really blessed. My youngest one is only 9, but I have my mom is close by. We're in Georgia, so in the United States in Georgia. My mom is close by, and then I have a really awesome fiance that helps too, like when he's not working. So everybody kind of takes turns helping. Or if I'm off, that like today, of course, but so, it's when I was, oh boy, I was a single mom. It was so expensive that I could only afford for one kid to go to daycare. So they had different families. So the other dads, the one grandparents used to help babysit the other one because I can only afford the other one to go to daycare because otherwise I couldn't afford my bills or a house or anything else. Um,
Yeah, expensive. I don't even have kids myself, and I'm here thinking like, do I want to have kids right now? I'm gonna wait.
Smart girl. Oh, smart. You're smart. No, no, no. That's not. I'm just joking. I love my kids. I love my kids. So, you know, I feel like my life would have been way more hectic or whatever than it was if I wouldn't have had kids because I would have, who knows what I would have done. That's the whole thing. I don't know. I wasn't really a big partier or anything, but I was going to go into the military and then I found out I was pregnant with my oldest one. So, I'm, they changed my life and I'm very happy and I love them. And do I want them to have kids young? No, I don't. But would I change that I did it that way? Probably not because like I said, I mean, who knows what path I would have went down if I didn't have to grow up and take care of kids. So it kind of kept me straight. And I don't know if I wasn't the best. So wait, maybe it didn't keep me too straight because I still did some stuff that I'm like, what? But anyway, I'm a good person, but everybody makes mistakes. Okay. So,
Yes.
um, alrighty. So your book, how long has your book been out and what is it called?
My book has been out for a good year now. Well, sorry,
Oh,
not a year yet. May 25th is going to be a year, so almost a
oh,
year. Yeah, and it's called Every Day I Am Just Deaf.
oh. How did you now? This might be a silly question. How did you come up with that title? Like it's pretty like it's like in your face, like bam, this is what it is. But how what motivated you to use that title?
Oh my goodness. You guys, it took me 3 months to come up with the title. I knew I wanted my title to be deaf. I knew what I
Mhm.
wanted to be something deaf in it. And and then I was thinking, and then I was like, maybe I should just make it like an everyday type of book, a daily book. And I had to break it down. I was writing like deaf and pow, and then I was writing deaf and this and da 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 da, and then it was just too much. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna call it every day I am just deaf, not this. And then I don't know how I came up with that one. I'm like, how the heck did I just come up with that title? But I didn't know. It was a lot of brainstorming. It was a lot of like writing things down, crossing it out. It was a lot. It took me a good 3 months to come up with that title.
Oh wow. So we do things different because I have titles of stuff but no content. I'm going to have this, and this is the title. What is in it? I don't know yet, but I do have a title. So yeah, I'm different. See, I am so different. But I think that helps me kind of structure things because again, ADD. So it keeps me like in line and focus, like because then I know what is going on. Otherwise, I would literally say everything in the world, man, it would have nothing to do with it. They'd be like, what? Like one time I went to the circus and blah blah blah. What's it gonna do with this? So yeah. I mean, I don't know. So silly. Okay. So I don't I have a new podcast and coming out soon and I know the name of it. And then I said, "Ooh, I want to write my book and call it that too." So I don't know. And then there's no words in the book yet, but but there's a title. I probably should do it the way you do it would make more sense because then once you have the title, you're done. You don't have
Exactly. Once you have it, you're done. You're done. You're like, finally, okay, goodbye. Next.
So, did you use a publishing company in Canada?
No, I actually did it all by myself. I
You
I did it.
did?
Yeah, I just self-published. I did my research. I have a friend of mine who is a great graphic designer for cover letter. And I was like, hey, can you help me with mine? And then he gave me some suggestion. And then I went ahead and hired someone to make it together, make it look real. It was amazing. I was like, thank you. And I had a friend in my network who was also an editor. She would charge a affordable price for me, thank goodness. And then I did my research how to publish on Amazon, like self-publish. And I took it
Wow.
from there. And then I do not know how I got bestseller on Amazon. I really truly don't know. And when I found out, I'm like, oh, I am. Okay, I did it. So yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Thank
You
you.
you are kick butt. See, 25 years old. I only have a title. I'm not 40. Good job. No, honestly, that's amazing. And you kind of, you just, wow, you just did it on your own. See, now you motivated me because I've been through a lot. So mine is about trauma and different things. And so I've interviewed so many people and I love titles. See, that's why I'm like, let's get a title first. I don't know why. But I love titles. Like this one lady who was amazing. She's in Canada too. Where is she in Canada? I don't remember. But she's really amazing. I love her. So her book is called like If You Could Play in My Playground or something. Oh. And it's about her childhood and how she went through so many things and how amazing she's doing now. She helps all these young women and like she's amazing. Like I love I love her. She's really cool. So, and then I've actually interviewed a lot of people from Canada and I didn't know that you were because our time zones are kind of close together that like it kind of just lines up East Coast, what, all that stuff. So, alrighty. Now, what do you say to a young person that maybe could be any disability or specifically? So if somebody is deaf and they're struggling to find their way or to kind of fit in, what advice would you give them?
My advice is there's so many advices I could give, but I have to stick to one. So if they're a young adult, I would say that it's okay to have a bad day. I think we all have been through bad days, but tomorrow can be a better day. And for those who are young adults and older, like 16 and up, I would just say that you have to live your life to the fullest. You can't be thinking about what other people think about you, and that's the
Mm,
most important thing. I think a lot of us always get in too much when people have an opinion about us, where we can just crush that opinion and just move forward in our life.
absolutely. That's great advice for anyone because I feel like it stops us from our potential sometimes when we're so focused on everybody else, what they think, what are they, like these clothes aren't cool. I don't have the newest shoes. I don't have this and that. And I wasn't that kid. I, I had to buy, well, I'm not going to say I had to, but my parents got divorced. So my dad and my brother and I were living together and I bought all of my stuff because I was working. So I'm not saying he wouldn't have bought me clothes because he definitely would have. And even my mom, who was like 10 miles away, she would have too. But I took it on upon myself to take care of those things because I knew it was like a transition and a hard time. So, and he was in the military. So he was working a lot and stuff. So I started buying my own clothes, helping with groceries, like that kind of stuff. So I never really cared about name brand. Like I bought Walmart stuff from the beginning and I still do. I like Walmart clothes. I'm okay with it. So, I mean that's kind of how I like adjusted to things but when I became an adult, that's when I cared what people thought, which makes no sense. But I did. And a lot of it's with my size and stuff like that. And so no matter what makes you different, love yourself because once you do and you're confident, you can accomplish anything. You can be like Kellina and publish your own book. But honestly, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you realize how awesome that is?
Honestly, I really didn't take in how powerful I was after I done it, and people give me the applause like that is amazing. And I honestly never grew up in that become an author, do this, do that, and it's just like, oh my god. And I think it reflects back, and I'm like, I wrote a book, so it didn't really kick into me until I published it, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing with us. So, what are some of like maybe like one or two things that you can share that are in your book?
Oh my god, I have so many things in my book. I know. Oh my god, I don't even have my book on me at the moment. I have so many things. I wrote so many things in my book. I know there's one thing I had in my book. I was talking about. Um, I know my worth. Yes, I am different, but I am worthy. That is something I add in my book. Yeah.
Mm. And that's a beautiful thing for young people to know, like we said, because a lot of times people are so cruel that when I was young, I allowed the opinions of others to like kind of morph my what I thought about myself into what they were thinking. And so like I saw myself in the other people's eyes, like, and that was bad. Like honestly bad. And it was a guy. It was my son's father. And so all the horrible things he said to me was how I felt about myself. And that's not healthy. But I didn't realize it at the time that it was really like, I don't know, it was just like hindering me from living and reaching my potential and doing the things that I wanted to do. So now at 40, like last year I turned 40, I started trying everything. That sounds bad. Not drugs, okay, everyone. I started stand-up comedy. I wrote a sitcom pilot. I started the podcast. I became a life coach. Thank you. So, and I actually am a co-author of a book too, but it's supposed to be published this year. So, all these things in a short amount of time. And it was because the guy I'm with now is really loving and he pushed me in a good way to believe in myself and to say, do it, try it. You want to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you always wanted to be like I always wanted to be an actress, so I started background acting like and stuff a while ago. And it was because he was like, well, not that he, of course, he didn't force me. I wanted to do it, but I was scared. And so, if we're always scared, you will never know what you can do if you don't try, if you don't start. Like, what? I mean, you would never know your potential. So, you're a caseworker and then you're also a life coach.
Yes, I'm also a life coach as well.
Yay. So, with your life coaching, what's your main focus with that?
My main focus really is with young adults from
Okay.
16 up. And I really focus on the anxiety, depression, self-esteem, and positive self-talk. So I kind of help clients to really focus on the gratitude and what type of tools. I give them worksheet to give them so that they can do that on the side to help them navigate their feelings, their emotion. And I think and yeah, that's pretty much it. I do one-on-one as well. I don't do group coaching just yet. But I will get into it. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing group coaching and expressing their emotion. But yeah.
Oh, you're so you're so well rounded. So good job to your parents and your grandma that I could tell that you just had so much love and that they just helped you with everything. So when you have that love, then can see your worth, and that's good
Yeah.
because that's probably one of the big reasons why you're such an awesome adult that you are. And you're helping so many people, which is amazing. I
Thank you.
do you do your life coaching on virtual or do you do in person or what do you do?
No, I do it on virtual because my
Okay.
goal is really to get my company globally. So my goal is to get international clients.
Woohoo. I am virtual as well. And so my coaching is about trauma and well, I say PTSD, but any kind of trauma and grief. Like that's my niche that I do. So it's really important for me to help people because we all experience grief sometime in our life. So it's like one big thing that we all have in common. Sometime in our life we're going to experience it. So, all right, what is your company name that you want to make globally? Yes, and we're in different.
My
Woohoo!
company name, my company name is really simple. It's CleanUpEmpowerment.com.
Kalina. Yay! Okay, so I saw something, and if I'm wrong, just say you're wrong, and that's okay. I'm allowed to be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
Did I see? Was it Deaf Boss Queen or something like that? Wait,
Deaf Queen Boss.
there we go. See, I got it wrong. I was close. So close. Okay. So
You were close.
how'd you come up with that name? Because you
Oh
are.
my God.
Woohoo.
Honestly, me and my little sister were coming up with names. Me and
Oh,
my little sister. Yeah, we did it together. She's so cute. And she's like, you need to have like a title, like a brand instead of your name. So I'm like, my little sister 2016. So I'm like, what do you know about this? And then my sister's like, no, let's put it. So I always wanted to put Deaf Boss. I always want that on there. I'm like, Deaf Boss has to be on it. I don't care. We need to make it look catchy and make it fire. My sister's like, maybe put Queen in it somewhere. And I'm like, okay. And then we worded it differently, backward, forward. It was just funny. And then that's how we came up with Deaf Queen Boss.
yes, ma'am. That is awesome. See, if that doesn't exude confidence, I don't know what is. That's so amazing. Like honestly, that's you're such a good role model for
Thank you.
young adults, young women, young adults. Just that if you face something or a challenge, so but you really are such a good role model for young adults and just showing them that no matter what you face, you can succeed like at whatever. So good for you. And other than your website KalinaEmpowerment.com, where else can we follow you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram, Deaf Queen Boss, and all my social media platform is Deaf Queen Boss.
I love it. That's awesome. And so your book is on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So really quick, you told us a little bit about it. So what advice can you give to someone that wants to publish their own book?
I would definitely say either get a mentor or stick to your budget. Budget. I don't care if this person said, oh, I don't care. No, budget. Your budget is very important because you don't want to spend more money than you need to because you also have to pay your book cover. You also have to pay for your ISBN, all that numbers. Some people don't realize that there's so much more to pay before you hire a publisher. There's so much more things you have to do. And also, if you are looking for an editor, make sure you look at their feedback and their testimonial because a lot of people can be like, yeah, I'm an editor. There's a lot of scam out there. I'm not gonna lie. So be super cautious when you hire an editor. If you like, you can reach out to me. I can definitely recommend you one of my editors. She's amazing, 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 amazing. She's affordable pricing. I know a lot of editors charge a lot of money. Like I said, I'll stick to a budget. And also too, promote like crazy. I don't care if you're bugging people. I don't care if people be like, oh, like you, nah. It's your book. It's your journey. you want to kill that crap out of that promotion. You want to keep going promoting. And also, too, don't be afraid to join a bunch of Facebook groups, promote your book there. That's why I highly recommend a lot of people to do. And that is my advice.
Yay! I love it. And I love that your book's been out almost a year. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm so proud of you and all that you have accomplished. And just basically, you have wonderful energy. You just smile. You just seem so positive, and that's such a beautiful thing. And I can tell and feel it from you that you really and genuinely love to help people. So you just keep going. And I'm so excited to see your brand globally. I know we're in North America, but still I'm in a different country. So cannot wait to see you. If I ever have, now I will. I'm going to speak it out loud. Here we go. Hey, I'm going to have it. So when I start doing engagements and speaking events and holding my own, I would love to reach out to you for you to come in person and be a speaker. How do you feel about that?
Of course, I'm excited. I would love that.
Okay. So it's not planned yet. I have a title. No, I'm just joking.
I'm
Just
like,
kidding.
oh.
No, no. So eventually I'm gonna have my own building and stuff like that. I'm working on all these things. So once I start, getting to the point where I'm getting more speaking gigs, and I actually have a certification in facilitating these, but that doesn't mean anything because you still have to reach out to people and rent a building, like rent, and all this stuff and sell tickets. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yes.
so,
Ticket.
but
Yes.
I would absolutely love to have you come. And again, it might not be for a few months, but here we go. And thank you again for sharing your story and being so awesome and really being encouraging to everyone and just letting them know that anything is possible and just, never give up.
Exactly. Never give up, you guys.
Oh, thank you, Kellina. You are awesome and you have a fantastic day. And I will definitely be speaking to you again. Oh my goodness. What another amazing young lady. I love it. She reminds me of Kelsey Weaver and how awesome she was when I interviewed her. And they're both so young and they're so mature and they're doing amazing things for their community and the world and young people with disabilities. And just so inspiring. So please check her out. She is awesome. Get her book on Amazon, follow her, and even you can hire her as a life coach. She has gotten her life together and she just really is just so, like I said, inspiring and motivational. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I really appreciate you. I could not do this without you. You really mean so much to me. Thank you, everybody, for that is a loyal listener that just listens to me be silly every single week. No matter what the topic is, I will find a way to laugh. Okay. Because I love it. I love laughing. So I appreciate you guys. And I really hope that you listen to my other podcast too when it comes out. It'll be starting in a couple months. I am so excited about that. It is very specific. It's a niche that, like I talked about, it's about basically PTSD, grief, all that stuff, any kind of trauma. And I'm really excited to have specific, conversations. So it's really, really, really going to be educational every single episode. It should be. I'll have people that have gone through situations and they now can help you and yours. I'll have professionals like psychologists and different professionals, therapists and stuff that will give you some tools and different things to help you as well. So I'm just really excited about it. It's going to be a different tone. I definitely won't be able to do my rap in the beginning of it because rap doesn't really go with the theme of helping people with trauma, I don't think. But, you know, that'll be sad. But I got my rap on this one, so it's okay. I don't have to rap on every single podcast. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe I'll just travel around and rap on every podcast. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. I love y'all and you are awesome. Thank you for listening and be kind and don't ever give up because you got this. If you quit, think of all the opportunities that you could miss. Have a fantastic day. See you and talk to you next Wednesday.